So, what if I told you that one of the wildest, most famous conspiracy theories in the world is actually based on a real historical secret society? Yep. Today, we're going to try and separate the incredible facts from the even more incredible fiction surrounding the legend of the Illuminati.
It's a question that really gets you thinking, doesn't it? This idea of a hidden hand, a secret machine pulling all the strings behind the scenes. It's kind of terrifying, but also pretty fascinating. But what if this supposed group actually had a name?
That's right, the Illuminati. I mean, the name itself just sounds so mysterious, so powerful. It's a word you hear whispered in conspiracy videos and all over pop culture. But where did this whole legend actually start? Well, let's get into it. Okay, first things first, let's start with the story you probably already know. You know, the one that's all over the internet, packed with shadowy figures and secret plots. This is the big legend of an all-powerful group running things from just out of sight.
According to the modern myth, their influence is just everywhere. Who's really making the big political decisions? Who's shaping the messages we get from Hollywood and the music industry? Who's in charge of the news you see every single day? The theory says it's them, and they're communicating through these hidden symbols, hiding their messages right in plain sight.
And their most famous calling card? The all-seeing eye, staring right at you from the top of a pyramid. Conspiracy theorists will point to its spot on the back of the US $1 bill and say, see, that's the ultimate proof of their power. But what if I told you the true story of the Illuminati has absolutely nothing to do with any of this? And this is where we get to peel back all those layers of myth to find the actual historical truth. Because believe it or not, there was a real Illuminati. And honestly, their story is probably way more interesting than the fiction. So let's get into the history you might not know. So the real Illuminati was founded on May 1st, 1776, which is kind of fitting since it was a time of major revolution. The founder was a German law professor named Adam Weishaupt, and he had this pretty radical idea to create a secret society for freethinkers, a place where they could challenge the power of the church and the state without, being persecuted for it. And here's maybe the most surprising part of the whole true story. The real Illuminati was around for a flash in the pan. I mean, they were founded in 1776 with this mission to push reason over religious dogma. But by 1785, less than 10 years later, the Bavarian government decided they were a threat and banned them. And just like that, the original Illuminati was forced to disband. The story really should have just ended right there. So, how in the world did a small, super short-lived group of Enlightenment thinkers become the supervillains of a massive global conspiracy theory? This is where the story gets really, really interesting, as we dive right into that gap between the myth and the reality. Okay, so the myth says their goal is total world domination, right? But history shows us their real goal was actually to spread the ideals of the Enlightenment. Reason, science, and personal freedom. They weren't trying to build some shadowy new world order. They were actually trying to reform the one they lived in. So if they were totally gone by 1785, why are we still talking about them? How did this small, defunct secret society blow up into a global phenomenon?
Well, when the Illuminati was officially shut down, it wasn't a clean break. There was this huge question mark hanging in the air. Did they really disband, or did they just go deeper underground? That uncertainty created a vacuum. And in that vacuum, a really powerful conspiracy theory started to grow. This quote just sums it up perfectly, doesn't it? The story of the Illuminati is part history, part mystery, and today, it's pretty much 100% an internet legend. You've got this real historical core that's been wrapped in layers and layers of speculation, and then the internet just amplified it into this global thing. It's the perfect recipe for a modern myth. All right, let's bring it all together. After looking at the sensational myth on one side and the historical facts on the other, where do we actually land on this whole Illuminati question? So here's the bottom line. While the original Bavarian Illuminati was a very real group, there is just no credible evidence, no real proof that they survived past the 18th century. The modern version of the story, the one about a secret cabal controlling everything, it's really built on speculation, not solid substance. In the end, the legend of the Illuminati is so powerful because it taps into something we all kind of want, simple answers for a really complicated world. It's just easier to believe there's a hidden hand pulling the strings than to face the chaos of reality. So after seeing the facts and the fiction, I'm going to leave you with this question. What do you think is more powerful, the truth of history or the story we all choose to believe?